Hi guys, welcome to the AB Auto channel. So today I'm going to be doing a brake job on the front brake pads and discs. So what I noticed was the other day is there's like lipping on the brake disc on one side where like I think the brake pad has been cutting in too deep on one side, so I thought it's just best to replace them. So like inside, it's not on this side, it's on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to jack the car up. I'll show you how I put it on an axle stand, and then I'm going to jack the car up, take the wheel off, and then I'll give you a more in detail look at what the issue is. So I'm going to crack on with the job. So first thing I'm going to do is jack the car up. So next I want to take the wheel off. Take the wheel off. And it's a good idea to always put the wheel underneath the car. So if the axle stand was to fail, it's still there. So I'm going to get you in close. So on this side of the brake disc, there's like a lip on it, whereas it's not showing on this side. So I'm going to be taking the whole caliper and bracket off, and then you get yourself like an S hook like this, so that you can support it on the spring like that. So I'll whip them off now. So in case you're wondering, there's two bolts, one down there, that hold the caliper, brake caliper on. So then it's a simple case of wiggling this off. Just pull from top to bottom. It will eventually just come off like that. So then I'm going to use the S hook to hold it up to the strut like that. So now when I take the brake disc off, you'll be able to see now that there's like a massive lip on this side of the brake disc, which means that I think the pads have been biting in too much on this side. But like if you compare it to the other side, there's like a massive lip on this edge. So that's why I'm going to be replacing the brake discs and pads. Even though there's plenty of meat on the pads, but it's best just to replace them together. So I'm going to go with Brembo this time, because they've got a decent reputation, and I've always wanted to try them out. I've always gone with other brake components and things, but I want to try Brembo out. So I believe these, I think these have got like a coating on them, so I don't think I need to use any I don't think I'll need to use any brake cleaner on these. So I'm going to pop this one on, and then I'm going to be showing you how to do the brake pads properly and service them and everything. Okay, so you grab your brake disc and it just simply goes on like that. Yeah, I was just comparing that it's the same size as the old one, which it is. So that just slots on there. So other cars they'll have like a little retaining screw here or here, like two of them to hold it on. But mine doesn't have that. So it's just it means that the wheel itself holds this onto the hub. So next thing is doing the brake pads. So as we can see, there's actually quite a bit of meat left on them. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll do, so you've got like a retaining bracket there, which you have to pry out with the flat-headed screwdriver. And then obviously you'll need a brake caliper rewind tool to push the piston back in here. So I'm going to grab those tools and I'll be back. So you grab yourself a flat-headed screwdriver and you just push it into there to one side, and then this clip will just come off. Then you grab one pad, you push it in that way, and then you pull it out from the top. So yeah, there's still plenty of material on these, but I thought might as well just have new all around everything. So then with the pad that's on the inside here, you push it with your fingers from the back, because it's like it's in with a spring, and you just want to push it towards you like that until you feel it pop out. And then that one's out as well. So now there's this piston in here which I need to push back. So what you do is you grab your brake caliper rewind tool, camera back, and this end attaches to the back plate like that, and then you want to make sure you've wound it all the way back. The reason why you need to push this piston all the way back when you install new pads is because the new pads have a hell of a lot more material on them and they're not going to fit. So rewind that in there, then that sits inside like that, and then you want to turn this until it meets up with the piston. And then it does get a bit harder, but it should go, it's now pushing it back in, and then you keep going until it just bottoms out, until it just won't go back any further, which is there. Then when it won't go back anymore, you release it. And take it out. So for this next bit, I'm actually going to be attaching this back onto the car. If I can find my, without the pads in. I'm just going to do them finger tight for now, because my main aim now is to just remove this brake caliper itself. So on the back of it, like there and below it, it's like a rubber cap, and inside it's like an Allen key. And then what I do is I remove these two out of here. They're called the caliper sliding pins. So they move in and out with the pads. So I'm removing this part now, because then I'll show you how easy it is to put the brake pads in when this is removed. So I'm just going to grab my Allen key socket. So I thought I'd reposition the camera so you can see a bit better. So I'm undoing the sliding pin at the top. And then it comes out like that, and then you should just be able to push it out, and that's the first one. Then you've got another one underneath. That one's a bit tight. So off comes the brake caliper. So on this side and this side, you've got a sliding pin, and that one was a bit seized in there, and that could be why there's not much grease on this one, you see, because these should slide in and out really easily, and when they don't, that becomes an issue, because then the pads get stuck to the disc. They're not able to move in and out properly. So it's best to get like a brush and clean these up really clean. And then I know in my last video when I did the brakes, I used copper grease. I actually found out that's the worst thing to use. So the best thing to use is actually called a product called Ceratec, which is an anti-squeal brake lubricant. And what you do is you put, once you've cleaned these up nice and clean with, like, don't use anything abrasive, just use like a soft nylon brush or something, give them both a good clean, and then you would smear this with either Ceratec or like a, I think it's like you can, I think you can use like a white lithium grease or anything but not copper grease to help these slide in and out nicely. So now I've got the brake caliper off and it's just a bracket on like this. You get your brake pads. These are your brand new brake pads. And the idea is you grab your Ceratec and you want to put some on the ears, off the pads like this. Smear it on like both ears, like that. Put some on this side. So this will stop any squealing from happening. Like, you know, when you're driving along and you hear loads of cars are always squealing when they're braking, it's because they either don't have enough lubricant on the pads. Because as this slides in and out like this, and it's moving against there, if there's no lubricant there, it's going to create a squeal. So also I like to put, even though you've got a backing plate here which is like an anti-squeal backing plate, I still like to smear a bit of this on here. So I just like to give it like a thin coating, just mainly where it meets up against the caliper, like that. And then it just slots in like that. So that's that side done. Now then, with the other side, because there's an actual spring, this spring here, it goes inside the piston that I push back in. So I have to take the caliper back down and then put some more Ceratec on the back and ears of this pad, just like I did with the other one. Just a bit on the ears. I find doing brakes is an easy job on cars. Obviously not for you if you're not experienced enough. And then so with the other brake pad, do exactly the same thing. Shows you some on the ears. And then you want to put some just on the mating surfaces. And put some on the spring as well to help it go in and out easier next time. And then you get the pad this way around. And then you just want to push it inside that piston. Till it clicks in like that. And then simply we can put this back on now. Like that. I've actually cleaned these up now. And I'm just going to rub some Ceratec on these. I'm just going to put loads on. Doesn't matter if you put too much on, the more the better. You can't over lubricate these really. And then it's easier to do it like this. So attach this bit in like that, so that when you slide it back through here, you've got like a bit more leverage to slide it on with. And then you do the exact same with the other side. Or with the other pin, you do exactly the same. Apply a nice liberal coating of Ceratec on here. I've got another tube of this, so I don't mind using it all up. And then same again, you put that in there and then slide it through the bottom one this time. Which is actually down there. So once you've tightened them two up, and you just want to tighten up by hand and make sure they're snug, then you get this clip like I showed you last time. Now this is the bit I don't like, putting this back on. So I found if you put it in here first, into that hole, and grab yourself a hammer, gently tap that in there, and this other side you want to push that bit in. I hate this bit, getting that back into there, and then so that bit's in. So that is now back in there, and that's basically it. That's how to replace your brake discs and pads on a Ford Puma anyway. And then just remember that these are brand new brakes now, so go easy on them. So gentle braking for the first 500 miles. Just go easy on the brakes. And then remember that when you've finished this job on both sides, because you've pushed that caliper piston back in, make sure to pump the brake pedal first before you go anywhere, because you've pushed that piston back in, it needs to push back out again to apply the pressure back to the brakes. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's how you replace the brake discs and pads on a Ford Puma. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing, it really helps me out, and also give me a thumbs up. Yeah, AB Auto out.